Good afternoon. I am Tracy McKibben. I'm the chair of the Finance Committee of the New York Power Authority and the New York State Canal Corporation. I'd like to welcome my fellow committee members, Chairman John Canal, Michael Balboni, Ann Kress, and Anthony Pacenti are excused from this meeting. We also want to welcome the NYPA and Canal Corporation staff. This meeting has been duly noticed as required by the Open Meetings Law, and I now call this meeting to order. You've all had a chance to review the agenda. I ask if there are any amendments to the agenda before going forward. Any questions or comments from the other committee members?
No comments.
There being none, I ask the agenda to be adopted. If I could get a motion.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The agenda is adopted. The next portion of this meeting will be held in executive session. If I could ask for a motion to conduct an executive session to discuss the financial and credit history of a particular corporation pursuant to Section 105F of the Public Officers Law.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Can I get a second? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? We will now go into executive session. We're back. I asked for a motion to resume the meeting in open session.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Can I get a, all in favor, say aye.
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 Great. Any opposed? Motion carried. There were no votes taken during the executive session. We will now turn to the consent agenda. All of the committee members have been able to see it. It consists of routine housekeeping items, primarily the approval of the joint regular meeting minutes held on November 27th. It's now before the committee for adoption. I've got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We'll now turn to and invite Marie Berninger to come and discuss the large-scale renewable project award before the committee.
Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here today to present to you our recommendation for a contract. Advance the slide. For a contract that will benefit NYPA's customers, the authority, and the state of New York. The recommended transaction we're here to present today is a major step to advance NYPA's clean generation moonshot strategy, the state's clean energy standard, and to provide a value to our customers. Specifically, we are proposing to execute a 20-year power purchase agreement with the 290 megawatt Canasteo wind project, which will be developed by Invenergy, a leading generation developer and owner, and the project is expected to come online at the end of 2020. This is the culmination of a competitive solicitation we issued in June of 2017 for privately developed large-scale renewables on behalf of our customers. This PPA will be executed upon the Finance Committee's recommendation and ultimate approval by the Board of Trustees at the January 30th meeting. First, I want to provide a brief background of our competitive procurement. Consistent with our long-standing policy to procure large-scale renewables from the private sector, NYPA released this RFP in June of 2017 on behalf of our customers. The solicitation sought a public-private partnership in the structure of a long-term contract with new large-scale renewable projects. The scope was broad, including technologies of wind, solar, hydro, and biomass, the procurement of energy capacity and renewable energy credits at multiple term options. And it was designed to achieve the most competitively priced, highest quality projects to serve our customers' renewable needs. Industry response to the solicitation was very strong, totaling 9 gigawatts of renewables from 132 projects proposed by 51 developers. Following a comprehensive evaluation, the Canasteo Wind Project was selected as the best value for NYPA and its customers among this robust competition. This transaction is a strategic opportunity for NYPA. First and foremost, it provides value to our customers. The PPA pricing is very competitive based on the strengths of the project, the developer, the fact that NYPA is a creditworthy counterparty, and that the project seeks to capture the production tax credits. This will allow NYPA to pass on cost savings and achieve price stability in supplying renewable energy credits to our customers. It also will make a meaningful step in achieving the clean energy standard. The project will produce Tier 1 renewable energy credits and achieve 19% of the 50% by 2030 clean energy standard goal that was set out in 2016. Of course, the governor has challenged the state to achieve an even higher goal of 70% renewables by 2030, which makes this step even more important and timely. NYPA is the leading producer of renewable energy in New York, and this furthers that leadership role by expanding this contract into wind power. The contracted project will represent 3% of NYPA's generation portfolio and will be the first wind power resource in the portfolio that will provide Tier 1 RECs to our customers. Let me share a little more about the project itself. It's 290 megawatts that will be built in Steuben County, New York. And here we're showing you an actual rendering of the project. Like I said, it's expected to go into service at the end of 2020. NYPA will service the off-taker under a 20-year contract term that will begin at the commercial operation date of the facility. Invenergy, the project developer, is one of the top wind developers in the industry. They've developed over 12,000 megawatts of wind in North America and over 600 megawatts in New York State. They've been operating wind farms for over 10 years with one of the best availability factors in the industry and have raised over $30 billion in capital.
Marie, can you just walk us through, looking at where we've decided to locate this on the western part of the state, who we chose this particular project with the expectation that who are the customers that we expect this power ultimately to be delivered to?
This power will be transacted, the power itself will be transacted in the wholesale markets. The renewable energy credits will serve our supply customers, so our diverse set of supply customers. And I can explain that more on the next slide, which explains this transaction a little more. So if we look at this diagram, the contract between NYPA and the Canal Wind Project is a full bundled PPA where NYPA will be purchasing the energy, capacity, and RECs at the PPA price. The energy and capacity will be transacted into the wholesale markets, and the RECs will be delivered to our customers via supply contracts. And so in particular, this responds to an emergent need to supplement our supply offering with renewable energy credits through our customer supply contracts. Okay. So in conclusion, for the reasons I've laid out in this presentation to advance our clean generation moonshot strategy, to advance the clean energy standard of the state of New York, and to provide value to our customers, we ask today that the Finance Committee recommend to the full Board of Trustees the approval of a 20-year power purchase agreement with the Canal Wind Project at the upcoming January 30th meeting.
Marie, is this the only contract you expect to award from this process?
Yes, it is.
And the other 50 developers know that, or you're still talking to any of them, or at this point your focus is just on Invenergy?
Correct. That's correct.
And the other bidders have been notified. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry. Go ahead, John.
And how far ahead of the pack, qualitatively, more than quantitatively? And give us a little bit of some of the criteria that you would have evaluated this on, so that, just give us some directional sense that they really differentiated and distinguished, or this was a very competitive decision process and they won by a nose at the finish line, or they were lapping the field. Can you put some context around that for us, please?
I'm happy to. Like I said, there was a very robust competition. And Venergy, Canasteo Wind Project had, really hit the mark on a number of quantitative and qualitative criteria. Of course, price was one very important factor, which they had a very competitive price. But they also had a very well-developed project, 100% site control, on schedule or ahead of schedule with permitting and in their interconnection process, a very reliable resource, good technology, very strong developer with a good track record of development and successful financing, as well as one of the top operators in the industry. So I would characterize it as very competitive. There are other very competitive projects in this process, but this was the top project.
And they were the clear winner from your standpoint, as opposed to it was a coin flip? Okay.
Yes, clear winner.
Very good. I mean, I think the process seems to be one that ultimately, good for the team that you chose a project that looks pretty substantial as we try to deliver on our commitments to further the governor's renewable energy vision and our goals to participate in the REC market. So with that, are there any other questions from the committee members about this particular project before we take a vote on moving it forward?
No questions.
Nope, I'm good. I'll move that we recommend to the board approval of the project as presented.
Great. Can I get a second? Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. The motion carried. Good work,
Well
team.
done.
I think this is a very good step in as we begin, delivering on our commitment to pursue large-scale renewables. So very good work.
Yeah, well done, Marie and Bob and team. Yep, kudos.
Thank you.
Yeah, great
Thank
start.
you so much.
Thanks for your approval.
Tracy's points.
All right.
Okay.
At
Next
this point,
item.
I think it's Lee Garza. You're up to talk to us about the funds in support of the residential consumer discount program.
All right, good afternoon, trustees, colleagues, and members of the public that are joining via phone or computer. I'm here to talk to you. This is part of our normal course business that we come to you every year about this time to discuss our residential consumer discount program. Before I make the request, I'd just like to provide a little bit of an update on program standing right now that is going to bring us current on it. Just to refresh everyone's memory, this is one of our key customer programs, Recharge New York, and it's part of a state economic development power program that was signed into law by Governor Cuomo in 2011. This legislation allows for qualifying businesses and nonprofits to lower their overall energy costs by as much as 25% through our allocation of our hydroelectric power to them. We allocate in total approximately 910 megawatts through this program, 455 of them, which come from our hydroelectric facilities, with the balance coming from open market purchases. Currently, we have approximately 758 megawatts allocated as part of this program, with the rest in reserve and available to be allocated. We have assigned these to 762 businesses and nonprofit organizations. In return, they have provided commitments that include over 377,000 jobs, as well as $31 billion in invested capital. And so at this time, what I'd like to request of the committee is that you recommend approval of release for $30 million in the RNY program for this year.
Lee, this is just continuing the work that we've been doing in this space, right? Not nothing out of the ordinary in terms of this new funding, release of funding.
That's correct. This is our ongoing operations. To refresh the memory of those who may not remember all the way back to last year at this time, this is the time of year that we come for this program and a request for this release. It's part of our key and core operations.
And how does the 30 million compare to what we released last year and priorly?
I recall it was in the neighborhood of the same quantity, plus or minus.
Plus or minus what, 30 million?
Plus or minus $5 million. I'll make
Okay.
sure you have the number.
Great. Any other questions from the committee?
No,
Great.
do we need a motion on this?
I think
do.
we do.
We need to
Yeah, we
move
need a
it.
motion to release the
Motion
funds.
to recommend that the funds be released, I'll move it.
Can I get a second?
Mike,
Can I get a second?
Mike, that's your cue.
Second.
Sounds up.
Great.
Yeah.
All in
Good.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Well,
Great,
stay with
thanks.
us, Mike.
Motion carried. Any other items that the committee would like to
Thank you.
discuss or that staff has for us to discuss today? With no other items, the next joint finance committee meeting is scheduled for May 21st, 2019. I will now entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll move that with a reminder that we'll all be back together in full board next Tuesday. So
Correct.
so moved.
Tuesday evening and then Wednesday board meeting.
Oh, Wednesday,
Great.
excuse me.
Right.
Okay.
Can I get a second? Mike?
Mike,
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried. This meeting is adjourned.